Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? Welcome to another Ultra Sud podcast, and I'm joined once again by Mr. Jack Katsanis. Kotzi, welcome to the pod.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy
all the best.
Friday. Pants off Friday. You know, I said pants off Friday the other day, and this fellow person didn't know what I was talking about. Do you remember Pants Off Friday on the radio, Hamish and Andy?
No, unfortunately, I don't remember that on the radio. Don't remember that in real life. But it's good to be home. We're back in the
studio, bruv.
Back in the studio.
Plenty of football to go on with. Man United's currently playing right now. I mean, we don't actually have the game up, which is interesting. We don't actually have the game up, but it's 1-1 as we're speaking against Real Betis. So,
wait, it's not 7 o'clock. I should have brought a 7 up.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Bit
that would have
early.
been funny, and let's see if you still continue as my co-host on the podcast. Well, Kotzi, it's plenty of football to go through, and we obviously are going to address the elephant in the room. And no, I can't make a joke.
That could be.
We are going to address that elephant in the room. Obviously, I'm a Man United fan. Kotzi's a Liverpool fan whenever he wants to be, and there's just plenty of football to go on. But before we start, Kotzi, what shirt are you wearing today?
I have got Bikikara on from Malta, so where my nunna is from. What jersey have you got on, mate?
I just came back from the motherland of Athens.
Wait, you did or the jersey did?
I was going to lie to the people at home and say I did. Jess Russo. You know, we all know Jess Russo. We all love Jess Russo. Boyfriend Jimmy Paneras plays for AEK Athens, so I put in a little request. I say, Jessica, when you go over there to Greece, my motherland, can you please bring back an AEK Athens shirt? And I'm wearing it today, and I follow... Oh, shows the guns a little bit too. And I follow... I don't know why I just did that. I follow... Don't look, Kotzi. Richmond Footy Club. So it's
they
yellow
do
and black
represent,
as well.
yes.
It's like a tiger claw. I really like it. It's actually really nice.
I don't think it's a claw. I think it's just the pattern of the
Yeah, no, it's the
tiger
pattern, but I said it's
leopard.
like. So when you say it's like, it doesn't mean it actually is. Kotzi?
Like, anyway, all the best.
I'll tell you what I like.
It is a nice jersey. I think it looks really good on you, not going to lie.
Bring out my eyes.
I wasn't looking at them, but certainly now. I've received a quarter zip, so I'm looking to get...
Yeah, quarter zip's cool.
That's very nice. So thank you, Jimmy Paneras, for bearing gifts like Santa. You didn't see him bring them or anything?
Yeah, it's like Mrs. Claus and Santa.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, or Shrek and Fiona. No, that's so hard.
That's.
How could you say that about your best mate?
How could you say that about my best mate?
That's crazy.
I'm going to tell him to watch it, and he's going to...
That's crazy. Well, before we get... Well, actually, no, we might as well just get straight into it, Kotzi. And you know what? Let's just start off with it. Just go, Kotzi. Tell me what Liverpool did the other day. Tell me.
So it was Liverpool Man United. What did you predict last week, quickly?
1-0 Man United.
1-0 Man United. I think I predicted 2-1. It wasn't 1. It wasn't 2. It wasn't 3. It wasn't 4. It wasn't 5. It wasn't 6. It was 7. It was 7-0.
Really? I haven't been told.
I haven't been told?
Times, no.
Look, you came into work on Monday. You were already defeated.
Distraught.
We'll talk about the other stuff later, but that just didn't help.
Distraught.
All day, I don't think I've ever seen you like this. Like, I was quite concerned. I don't know what you're looking at. Oh.
Nothing. I'm looking at you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were like, I've never seen you like this before. Like, this was, Voldy, our boy, he was just giving it to you. He just didn't stop, and as we should. So 7-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, look, it wasn't nice. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it purely because we already had a late night. And I was upset from that night. And then I wake up and I turn around and I go, hey, Man United just lost 7-0. And yeah, it was clear to say that I was not happy. It was just like, it's like, how can we be going so well and then against our biggest rival have so much momentum and then just go... Maybe that is what killed us. Maybe we had too much momentum.
It's very interesting. Again, I think there was a few videos going around before the game, of course after the game, but there was, I think, Rio. Oh, I'm so confident. Never been more confident ever. I think Gary Neville as well. Then Graham Souness goes, I'm more confident in Liverpool. Never been more confident. Like, we've beaten you guys at home when we've been on EPL title races and all that, and he goes, I'm more confident now. I would never have thought to put 7.
I mean, 7, it was 1-0 at half time.
Well, I actually was listening to a podcast, and they were like, husband and wife were watching the game, and they were like, all right, 1-0 at halftime, I was boring.
Yeah.
And then the son was like, do you know what the score was? They go, no. And he asked them to guess. And she kept guessing. They kept guessing.
Go.
Yeah, look, he has to talk about me. Go on.
2-1, Anthony.
Who are you playing?
Real Betis.
Yeah, we've got Real Madrid, so we've got...
We all know how that went for you.
No, we've still got a game against them in Champions
League. We all know how it's going to go for you. Anyway, continue about this joke. Then no one else.
No, it wasn't a joke. wasn't a joke. It was more just a story that they kept guessing, and they turned it off at half time and went to watch some other show.
I mean, like, for Liverpool, from what I saw then, like, after the mini matches and all that stuff and highlights and all that, and from what I read, it really just looked like Liverpool clicked. Like, and I think the likes of, and we've spoken about them quite a lot, and we've probably criticised them a little bit too, the likes of Salah, Darwin Núñez and Gakpo, they just looked like everything just was working that day. Gakpo and Núñez looked like they had built that relationship, and that looked like to really work and blossom. Whereas United, on the other hand, Casemiro was poor, and the poor guy has been arguably one of the best players this season for Man United, and definitely one of the signings of the year as well. Just the way he's transformed that Man United team, but he was quite poor, and I think it showed how important he is to the team, because when he was a little bit how's it going, the rest of the team followed, and the rest of the team were very, very poor. I mean, defensively quite shaken up. Now there's all these memes about Lissandro Martinez, all that sort of stuff, but Liverpool were just... I mean, some of their counter-attacking goals were just... It was the Liverpool of old, as some would say.
A little bit, yeah. Again, I watched probably the last 20 minutes. This was a little bit early, 3:30 kickoff. But you could see that, it was the pressing, the intensity was there. But even the goals we did score were quite good. Like, it wasn't easy, or simple goals. Again, a nice finish by Gakpo for the first one. Núñez with 2 headers. Salah with 2 good finishes. Gakpo with the second finish as well. Chip over Daya. And then, of course, Bobby Firmino comes on after the rumours and stuff like that of him not renewing his contract or wanting to leave at the end of the season. I
thought they announced that he is going to leave.
I wasn't announced by the club, but it was announced by everyone. Kind of like, it was a fitting goal. But yeah, again, good performance. Again, hopefully now that pushes us on to...
Yeah, well, the top 4 battle is the biggest thing for you guys now, and I think
we're 3 points behind Tottenham. I think we'll get to what happened yesterday with them. I think now us and them will probably be fighting for that 4th position. But we won't harp on that too much longer, because I know it's still eating you alive, and maybe next week I'll bring a 7-Up just to cheer everything up. Did you? Oh, you told me about that Carragher thing.
Yeah, Carragher.
That was pretty funny.
Because then you know what? If Man United had won 7-0, the only place that I know you can buy 7-Up from is KFC. So I'd drive through KFC and get 7 7-Up bottles, and just put it on the front where I work in customization along my front desk.
Oh, well, but you can't anyway.
Yeah, because we lost instead.
What fixtures we...
Man City with the 2-0 win. Sorry, just before we go.
Go on.
Man City with the 2-0 win over Newcastle. And Newcastle, I think this was the thing maybe people might have been a little bit worried about. They've been good, but, they had that Carabao Cup final loss. They're losing 2-0 to Man City, so let's not,
I'll stop you. I watched the game. They had chances. So they went 1-0 down early. At 1-0... Joel Linton missed a chance. Callum Wilson missed a chance. They actually had 4 or 5 good chances. So, in a way, you could say like
it was a loss.
It was a loss, but it could have gone. Yeah. Of course, it could have gone either way. Could have gone 3 ways: win, lose, or draw. But watching it was like, okay, it's not as bad. Like, they didn't get battered or anything. Of course, Bernardo came on and he scored. Decent finish, actually. Of course, I think that killed the game. But yeah, they had chances to win or to equalise and then maybe turn the result, in their way. Yeah. But I do agree with you saying that maybe now it's a little bit, wheels are starting to
Well, this is what
fall off a
we'll
little
test
bit.
them. It's this point of the season, and this point of the year where the clubs get tested because there's games coming more often. There's other clubs that start to maybe around that other direction where they're starting to get into their stride after maybe starting off slower. And I think Liverpool's the perfect example of that. So it's going to be interesting to see what Newcastle do. And as you were about to mention, Arsenal versus Bournemouth.
Arsenal versus
also one of the
Bournemouth.
games of the season from the neutrals. How Arsenal have pulled that one out of their backside?
Conceded in 41 seconds? No.
I think it
No.
was 17 seconds.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why.
Yeah.
17 seconds. Then conceding in the 53rd minute or something around there, just after half-time. Bringing it
Crazy.
back to 2-2. And then Nelson.
3-1, boy! Woo!
Friday games.
Bruno Fernandes, 3-1.
Friday morning games.
Thanks for coming, Real Betis.
That's when you say all the best for the rest of the season.
All the best for the rest of the season.
Then Nelson, the Arsenal Academy prodigy, comes on and absolutely rifles one in the 97th minute. I think there's about 4 seconds to go.
And I think it was like 95 minutes added on, so it was like 2
Yeah.
minutes overtime or so.
Bedlam in that Emirates Stadium. I know that's a big word. I don't even know.
That was crazy, didn't I? You know.
That proves now that again they've had a few results like that. Of course, Bournemouth. I
I think when it's meant to happen, Cartier, it's meant to happen, and unfortunately, it's looking like it's meant to happen.
it is. But again, that's a decent result for them. They then travel to. They've got Fulham, so a little bit of a London derby down at Craven Cottage.
Not an easy game. They are
No.
away, so it's not an easy game for them. You'd think they'd get the result, and they did just draw this morning 2-2 against Sporting.
Correct.
So, and obviously the no away goal rule and stuff that goes out the window. But 2-2, you know, usually you go, okay, you know what, it's okay. But obviously the no away goals means it's back to the law in the second leg. So that again will be an interesting outcome to see. Well, Liverpool have got Bournemouth.
I was just going to say, just quickly, I've just seen it. The only result besides, there's a couple of relegation battles. 4-0, it looks like David Moyes is out. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly talk about because he's a big one of the big coaches' names. I think in the summer, he's gone.
Gone, and it's crazy how West Ham and they've done this before. And you look at that Dimitri Payet season, do really well. Go, okay, this could be West Ham
Move
could
to
solidify themselves.
London
Exactly.
Stadium.
West Ham could solidify themselves as like a top 8 club, and by a top 8 club, I mean regularly they're pushing for maybe that European spot, for Europa League spot sort of thing, and then if they get lucky, they can try and push in. Happened last year. Now they've just.
Yeah, I think now it's I don't know.
Have they made a mistake, and are they got to be biting themselves with not accepting a stupid, crazy sum for Declan Rice last year? Because honestly, I don't think clubs right now pay that 100 mil for Declan Rice.
No. Look, again, I think he's had an okay season. I don't think he's had the greatest season as much as last year, and I think following the Euros and last season, again, they were in European football. I think maybe if they'd won the trophy, hopefully, and again, European football does take a toll. You didn't think the toll would be this season. You thought it'd be at the same time. And I did read. I was just doing some research on Sky Sports, like, is Declan Rice 100 million? At this point, I think the values now has gone down. So your clubs like United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham should take that risk, say if it is 60, 70 maybe, because it's not 100 million. But
I think the most would be 80 because he still has that English tax, which we all know. And we all still know that what you do get with him. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He's obviously still a very good player. But the days of 100 mil, 110 mil getting thrown around, I think any club would be stupid to do. And I can tell you a club that's stupid to do it. Man United.
Look, and again, I think maybe it would probably be a good signing. I don't think it will happen now with Casemiro signing. So, again, that midfield spot. But again, I don't see him leaving the country. I don't see him coming out of EPL. So, your Chelseas, maybe Liverpool's, Arsenal's, maybe go for him. But again, it's just a matter who is going to get that price tag. So
definitely. Well, we're looking at the upcoming fixtures. Nothing too crazy. I mean, Bournemouth, Liverpool.
Not really.
Bournemouth obviously had a good performance against Arsenal the week before, but I think Liverpool will get through pretty easily. Everton, Brentford, who cares? Leeds,
Yeah.
Brighton,
Yeah.
who cares?
Leicester, Chelsea. Yeah.
Leicester, Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea are just so annoying. I hate Chelsea.
Tottenham,
They are really
Spurs.
annoying. Tottenham are versing Spurs. Interesting.
Is that what I just said?
Yeah.
Tottenham versus Forest. Oh, well. Tottenham in the Forest.
Spurs versus the Forest.
Palace, City, that might be a good game because Palace is City's bogey team.
That's actually true. And that's out at Selhurst Park, so Palace could get a bit of an upset.
They have not won in 11 games.
Yeah,
Crystal
they're poor.
Palace.
They're poor.
Thing is, I don't think they're going to get rid of Vieira. I think they're going to give him time. But haven't won in 11
And
games.
they've done this again, similar to West Ham. Palace, it feels like, yeah, they've got a good team. They might be able to do well this year. And then,
They're a club. I watched I think it was the start of last year. I watched their documentary on. But I think now that they're kind of like they're a team that's when they came in the league, you could have thought they'll bounce in and out. But now I think they're just kind of they're going to stay in that team who's going to stay in the league.
they're the definition of a mid-club table. You're like
Mid-club table.
Oh, mid-table club. Shit.
All the best. I'll be going to that one.
Sorry, I'm just really distraught. Yeah, like they're never gonna go break above seventh.
No,
and they're never gonna go relegated.
No, I don't. I think they're past that now.
And what they do in between is say, well, thanks for coming.
Correct.
So, Man United up against Southampton.
And
So we should win that. You'd think.
should be 3 points.
It's at home. I reckon we'll win 5-0. How much?
Is that Monday?
How much
Yeah.
you want to bet?
Nothing.
5-0 Man United win. Thanks for betting.
West
Dude.
Ham Villa, the Claret Blue Derby.
Oh, it's the derby of who gives a flying toot.
Whoa.
But
Whoa.
but Kotzi, I was actually going to wear my Socceroos jersey today. We got Aussies abroad.
Certainly
The
do.
Aussies abroad. I want you to make jingles too. This was actually quite interesting. I'll let you take it away.
So we're going to start off with the under-23 Olyroos squad was announced. So a few European-based, Kowal, and then a few A-League lads. Not Karan Kowal, although Kowal.
Hello, Kowal.
And then a few
Good ball.
A-League young lads in for that. They've got a game versus Italy 23s, and then Como, I think, who was there? I think Fabregas was there and Wilshere was there playing there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
No, I'm being serious. Because I just remembered watching a TikTok about Cesc Fabregas. But yeah, anyway.
The under-23 Socceroos, I don't know what the difference between the Olyroos and Socceroos. They're at the Asian Cup. They're through. They won 9-1 on
Was that against the Qatar?
Tuesday. Yeah. Yes.
Because I saw there was all this stuff, or maybe it was because the Qatar Academy, football academy now, it's obviously got stupid money involved.
Yeah.
And Tim Cahill was involved with it.
Yeah, of course he is.
And there's all this money involved. There's all these, stadiums. There's all this infrastructure that's been built for it. And then to lose 9-1, there was all these questions surrounding it.
I think they still finished above. I think they finished second. I don't know if they finished first. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But
And,
they won.
But there's some really good players in that under 23s and the Olyroos setup. There's
a few
I
A-League
think
lads.
Nishan Velupillay got called up.
He did.
I think for the first time, which is a good sign for him. But yeah, there is some really good players. Interesting, Christian Valpato. He could get called up for one of those, but I think it is the thing. I actually think he'll choose Socceroos. I heard it from somewhere, and I can't remember where a lot of it was he and the team around him didn't think he was ready to get.
Yeah, we spoke about this. Yeah.
And I kind of believe that to an extent.
And again, he shouldn't have to rush it. I don't think. Again, it's another conversation where we're
trying to guess.
We're trying to guess,
yeah.
blowing air into the microphone, just talking about it. And honestly, just wait until he's there, until he's peaking, he's at his peak. Just let him play. He's a kid. Let him play. Aaron Moy, another assist in a 5-0 win against St. Marin. So Keanu Bacchus, they went 1-0 down after 6 minutes, and they won 5-1. But that's a different story. Catley and Ford lift the Conti Cup for Arsenal, so the League Cup for women's. Yeah. Hopefully I say this right. Simpson scores on debut for Leicester City women's. You can read some as well if you're right.
Carpenter took place in the.
Carpenter's coming. What? Oh, Ali Carpenter, sorry.
No, the plumber is instead. Yeah, Ellie Carpenter booked a place in the Coupe de France semi-final.
This one's actually
That's
good.
French. This one was actually funny.
Did you see the video?
Casemiro and Jackson Irvine got a photo together.
You play for Australia?
And Jackson's like, yeah.
Did you see him after?
Yeah, he was rattled.
Oh,
But
he
that's so,
wouldn't
like,
be.
you know what's so cool? Like, yeah, it is still weird to think. Like, it's funny to see professional footballers who we look up to other footballers.
Yeah, of
Like,
course, yeah.
Like, it is interesting, and I mean, I guess similar type position. You know, that same midfield sort of position.
Yeah.
So he's probably someone that he's watched Casemiro, and I think now Casemiro is getting all that extra praise and media attention because he's playing in the Premier League. But I mean, 4-time Champions League winner. He is one of the legends of football. I mean, no one wins 4 Champions Leagues and don't get remembered.
Of course.
You know, he is one of the legends of the game. And yeah, to see everyone's reaction was pretty funny. And like the rest of the people that were in the room with him, they're like, Jackson, why are you blushing? He goes, holy shit.
I think as well, like, you know, when, you know, say like us two, we walk around and or you see players, you still kind of get nervous. And I'm sure, of course, there's the gap between, you know, the European giants and Australian kids. Again, like, you know, Jackson Irvine's been doing well for Sao Paulo, but I'm sure Casemiro doesn't know that. But it was good to see. And again, you could see as well that maybe people don't take Australia seriously as they should, but now, you know, people are still saying, like, I was listening to a podcast before and they were talking about Argentina's run in the World Cup and they were like, oh, why are you talking about Australia like that? Like, you know, saying that they're just an easy team, blah, blah, blah. But it was a cool little video.
I was going to say, it shows what that World Cup probably did for A, a lot of the players, and B, just for Australia, the team. So
Correct.
So it is.
And I think having the Women's World Cup.
What a moment that was. I just remembered back to that Argentina
Denmark.
game and the Denmark
Denmark
game.
was the best one.
Oh,
I
bro.
stayed up for 24 hours and then rocked up here, tried to watch. I don't even know what game was on here, and then went to bed, 4 hours sleep. But that was that was the best.
I was at Fed Square for that game.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were together for the second half. Remember? But
then the Gabs and everyone came after. Were you there?
No, that was
Tunisia.
That was.
Oh no.
No, you went. Yeah, you went to Tunisia.
I went to Tunisia and Denmark.
Yeah, and then you went to
France.
Argentina.
We were here. I remember that when we scored that
the
first
first one.
goal,
We
and
all
I absolutely score-washed Kotzi on top of Jess and Jimmy. We
Oh,
all just
mate.
fell, and I lost my voice literally for 15 minutes after that. At the Argentina game, I'll never forget when Garang Kwol gets that ball, and he's gone for the shot. I got goosebumps, Kotzi. Oh my goodness.
Mate, if that
What a moment.
had gone in, I think the whole there would have been an earthquake.
I was
There would have
coaching.
been
We
an
had a
earthquake.
holiday clinic, and I've messaged on my boys. I'm coming late. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
at Fed
'cause
Square.
the thing is, you didn't get in. You were sitting on the
Yeah,
other
we were
side.
calling. We were on the
sitting-
outside. Unbelievable stuff. Sorry, we're just reminiscing there. Unbelievable stuff. But this one, I know, is one that you love. So take it away.
Our boy Ange, 100th game. So it was Ange Postecoglou, Aaron Moy versus Kowal, Devlin, Rolls, and Atkinson.
Mate,
Yesterday morning, and I don't know, I don't know if anyone follows, but they had the photo of them
Yeah.
6, and I put it on my story yesterday. But Celtic win 3-1, but again they went down 1-0 in 10 minutes. And I was listening to it on BBC Scotland radio in the car because there wasn't on BN Sport for some reason. Aaron Moy another assist yesterday in a win for Ange's 100th game, and they put up a sign, the fans, gone by Christmas, ?
Really?
100 games. Because again, like when they signed him, they were like, oh, they're going to get rid of him. Like that's it. Like he won't last.
Love that.
And even
I
though
love
100,
that so
100
much.
game doesn't sound like a lot, but for what he's done in 100 games,
And how quickly he's established himself as that guy.
yeah.
And with the Celtic fans and even just his performances, shows that, hey, Ange Postecoglou.
The boys, BHOYS.
It's actually got a little bit of an underrated kit, that.
They got a new fourth kit. Collar, a different type of green.
Are we getting it?
Probably not. That is a little bit of a dig, no offence. But they've got the leaf, like the big leaf, and then it's got the Irish colours to represent
Ooh.
their Irish
To
background.
represent Ireland for a Scottish club.
No, but the
Interesting.
Irish
that's
background.
what I was meant to
Yeah,
say.
it's
But yeah, that's huge. Huge. Straight. It's good time for a bunch of the Aussie boys as well. The Women's World Cup obviously is this year. I did see that as well. Apparently, there's all
Yeah,
that
so
stuff.
I put this in there about the Saudi sponsor plan that Australia and New Zealand want to get rid of it. Hopefully, we don't really want to talk about this negative stuff, but
It's beyond my pay bracket, that, mate. All this
Yeah,
political
I think
stuff,
so.
and like, we're not a podcast where you're going to talk about politics and the real in-depth stuff about football. So apologies. I know you look at us, you go about this to us very sophisticated men, and I'm sure can talk about all the nit and gritty stuff of professional football. But unfortunately, that is not it, because instead we are here at Ultra Football, and we're here at a football store.
We're gonna wreck the setup. No, they're tied together.
Oh, they're tied together. Never mind. Well,
Anyway, we'll just bring it back down. Just
ladies
so
and
they can have
gentlemen,
a
what
look.
we have got the new Nike Phantom GX Elite firm ground
Move your head quickly. There you go.
Fusion pack, and they look unbelievable. I did do a boot shopping with Ultra Football. Came out yesterday, Thursday, with George Mells.
Port
George
Melbourne.
Mells plays for Port Melbourne. Had a bit of a stint in the A-League as well. Fantastic player. He loved the boots.
He did?
Unbelievable. I actually really like them as well. They're like, the colorway on them
They
is
look
cool.
nice, yeah.
They've got a bit of that rainbow flair, but that grey, I think, balances it out quite nicely, which makes it a little bit, a little bit like cleaner.
I like the. It's not a black. It's there is a
it's like
black.
it's, like,
It's
you
a
know what it
grey.
is? It's a washed grey.
You did art class, didn't
I
you?
did.
You
I
did.
did,
All
yeah.
the best.
I did all the best for the rest of the season.
I like that.
But it is, I actually really like it, and the fly knit as well. Good for control, close touches. That's exactly what you want with the Nike Phantom boots. And the New Balance Furon, these actually are very, very, very nice.
It's funny how Nike, Adidas, now New Balance, have all done a white pack. There's something about white boots now, because all the parents, all the kids, if I got to wash them.
Can't wash
There's something about white boots now that just...
but they just look so clean. All white boots.
Well,
you
literally they are clean
Well,
right
until
now.
you wear them.
Until you wear them, all the best.
All the best. But like they are really, really nice, and the New Balance Tekela as well, the Rare Force pack. So they are nice. You can come in and grab them at Ultra Football,
Correct.
in store or online. But also, I'm gonna plug that Ultra shopping, boot shopping. It's been a very, very, very cool series to film so far. We had Giant Kaio, George Mells, going really well.
You've done really well. I've watched 2 of them. I haven't watched the George Mel one yet, but you're doing really well there, and
Thanks,
it's again exciting to see where Ultra's socials are
I think
broadening their
this-
horizons, and you're doing well yourself hosting that now, and it's good to see.
I think this will be like a pretty cool series, and a series where we're obviously going to get, and at the same time we're getting NPL players on. I mean, Giant was State League player too now, so at the same time we're trying to grow it just everywhere. I'm learning as well along the way about these players, and I'm learning a lot from you. But obviously I'm learning more about a lot of these players along the way, and about the clubs but yeah, it's been good. Like George Mills was fantastic to have on. The good thing is all of them have been unbelievable dudes.
It's a good thing, as again, like, we've tried to put in that grassroots within our podcast. And I think, hopefully now if we start getting players from our local, it doesn't even matter what level, because I know you did one with Scott Rogan futsal series from Fitzroy. So any forms of the game, but it's good to get that connection with ultra grassroots. Let's not just think, the top level. But again, it's been a good little show.
And hopefully we get a couple of them on the podcast as well. I think next week.
I think KO next week.
I think next week we're gonna have Kaio on if he's free. Not KO, that's a streaming service.
Well, I call him KO.
Maybe it is KO.
When I played with him, or when I trained with him, I called him KO, and someone called him Kyle. I swear to God.
Kyle?
That the guy who's actually did that, he'd be good. Luke Jago would be good to get on.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy's
Jimmy Jago's brother.
Yeah.
Plays for Arias, which is not this club. This is like the way I touched the badge. Plays for Arias.
Yeah. He'd actually be a good one to have on, because he's.
Well, Terence is best mate, isn't it? Or close
I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of a list. You can have a look at after. Anyway,
I like it. You might be on the list.
B-League expressions of interest. We
I'll
are
tell you
on
what.
track.
What
for
a
this
time to be a
B-League.
graphic designer.
Oh mate, I heard that. Was it from you?
Yeah, I said it last week too.
Hey, I'm telling you, but paychecks
Through the roof.
fat.
Mate, I was close to sending, hey, I've got Canva too. What do you want me to do? Boolean lines, express interest of the B-League. Please, I'll do it for you.
Look, again, I think finally there's that step, because the Friday there was a they put out something from, I don't even know what it was, AW something I was hearing from, but the confirmed expression of interest has come through because Optus posted it, I think it was Monday. So you've got from Victoria, who cares about the other state, you got Avondale, Brunswick Juventus, Green Gully, Preston, South Melbourne, Heidelberg, Melbourne Knights. So we'll quickly run through Victoria. So Avondale, Bentley, which is at the moment, we'll get to that, their form. Brunswick Juventus as well, not so great, but they want the B League. Green Gully, my old team, good to see. Heidelberg, Melbourne Knights, Preston Lions, and South Melbourne. So Victoria are on the way.
Are there any clubs that you're surprised haven't expressed that interest?
Hume City is a surprising one. I think they have got the facilities, they've got the money, they've got a good idea of how they've been going about it. Oakley as well, I'm kind of surprised.
I'm surprised Oakley.
I think maybe, who knows?
I think a large part of it could also be these are the ones willing to take that first initial step.
You got to think as well, even the expression of interest was money. They had to pay to get that. I think it was like, I can't remember the exact, I think it was between 2 and 5K to just even expression of interest. So now it's like, okay, because what's going to happen now, probably from now till next year, clubs will get the criteria of what needs to happen at the clubs for facilities, for and all that, which it's going to be good to see. And again, these clubs, again, of course, probably your bigger clubs going around at the moment. Of course, Brunswick Juventus, bottom of MPL2. It's lovely to hear. My old team. If they drop any more points to Bulleen on Monday in the derby, will be very interesting. Bentley is a little bit of an interesting one as well. But yeah, again, you've got history there. South Melbourne, Preston, Knights, Heidelberg, which I don't even think you needed to put a list together.
Yeah.
Other states, I'm not too sure.
You know which one really interests me? Sutherland Sharks and Cronulla Sharks. So they've gone in, Sutherland Sharks and Cronulla Sharks.
Are they Sutherland Sharks with us, aren't they?
I think so, yeah. And they've gone through and done it in a joint sort of way.
Really?
Which I think is actually quite good. I think if you can, get two teams and...
There was a rumour for Avondale and Brunswick Juventus to go together.
Yeah, and I think that'd be that decent little move because you get each other supporting people. Obviously, you got to get both fan bases together. Financially, you'd obviously benefit as well. Who was the club that's just signed something with Atalanta?
Adelaide City. So they have put in their expression of interest as
obviously, well. I think that's a pretty cool move as well. And interesting that Atalanta. It'd be interesting to know the fine details about how that all happened. How Atalanta found Adelaide City and what that relationship will
There's
be
that
like
Italian connection, of course, Adelaide City Italian, but I don't know about Sutherland and what was the Cronulla Sharks. I don't think they've been around too long. I think if there was a club like in Victoria, I don't think they would want to do that. Even though Italians, they won't want to do that. There would just be boards going on with boards. Like it won't work. And again, there's in football in Victoria politics. Talking politics. Have you seen that from Brendan Favola?
Yeah,
he's drunk. Stephen's a car. Talking about when he goes, I can't say the name, but when he goes up to the player, think who I can't name because they're involved here. Talking a bit political, and then street talk.
Yeah.
From Sam from the footy show.
We
should do that.
Street talk.
Do it around here with the employees. So I don't know what to say, but yes, B League.
Yeah, that was good.
On its way.
But yeah,
finally,
that's exciting times, and I think slowly it's that first step forward.
I have a question for you. Now I don't know yet because again I don't know. It probably still will be at Moreland City, so again still be an NPL. But if South Melbourne, it's official B League, South Melbourne are there, are you changing from Victory to South Melbourne?
Nope. I don't have that. I guess I'd maybe have the soft spot for South Melbourne because of just their Greek background. But other than that, I don't actually really have that much of a...
Don't see... So you stay with Victory?
Yeah, I'd stay with because Victory I genuinely have the passion for. These other teams, I want to see them do well. I want to see the league do well because
Oh,
if
of
it helps
course.
the game, then obviously. But if South Melbourne lose to Green Gully one night, I'm not going to go home and cry.
If Green
But-
Gully beat South Melbourne.
But I would have that soft spot. Like I want South Melbourne to win the league.
Yeah, no, again,
And if there's a thing, I've never believed having second teams, but I think here it's a bit of a different thing because look, I guess they're different leagues as well, sort of thing. And it's not because it's not promotion relegation. It's
Not
the
yet.
second division just yet.
Not yet, but again, still we're close to it, and I think once it gets closer, we'll talk about that.
And I
'cause
think
again,
it's very good that it's not promotion relegation straight away. I think we're going to have 3-4 years of this before we get into promotion relegation.
and I think, but that's you can see now it's starting to happen. But yeah, I actually have to show you something after the show. It's football. I got a signed victory shirt by the whole team.
Did you?
Yeah.
From where?
Andrew DiPicchio's PA sent it to my mum. I was going to send you a photo, but I forgot, and I forgot to show. I swear to God, yeah, whole team
Sick.
from this year's jersey. Anyway, we won't go through the other little games, but Champions League, legs 2, Chelsea 2, Dortmund 0. Of course, bloody Chelsea 4-1. All the best.
Gut Weghorst. 4-1 win. Wow. It's not even over yet, so we're getting 3 out of the quarterfinals now, so we're on our way to the semi-finals. Still a second leg that we played. Sorry, still a semi-league, second leg, but we're through.
It's all right. Anyway, Champions League. We're going to talk about the real European League. Chelsea win at home against Dortmund. Reverse the
big.
fixture from 1-0. I think there was a little bit of controversy between the penalty, handball. Of course,
It's controversial.
Chelsea get it done. They're in the quarterfinals. Benfica smash, stomp on Club Brugge, and I think
Scott Parker sacked twice in 7 months.
all the best to him. Yeah, I
All
saw
the
that.
best.
Yeah,
That's when you just, you know what? Hockey. Yeah, like,
do they even
change
play hockey
sports,
anymore?
brother.
Well, you'd probably play no sports anymore.
Right?
Tottenham stalemate, but somehow can't get the job done. Milan, AC Milan, go through. We had the Italian fans here. Gab's down here watching. Ours was in front, so you'd hear him start yelling, and then you'd hear them start
Yeah, it was
yelling.
like an echo. You'd hear 2 reactions.
First time in 12 years or 11 years since the quarterfinals.
That's good for them.
Who's the only man to be quiz time? Who's the only man to be in that squad in the last quarterfinal and this squad?
Oh. It's going to be really obvious, isn't it?
It is, yeah. A, B, or C? No.
Oh, yeah, give me A, B, C. 3 options.
So A, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. B, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. C, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Oh, you
C,
sugar,
D, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Do you want to lock it in,
He
Eddie?
was there. C, lock it in.
C, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It
Lock
is
it in,
C.
Eddie.
You know he does that? When the answer's wrong, he'll be like, are you sure about that? And then they change their answer. But if it's right, he just goes straight away, oh, correct. Anyway,
That's smart. Eddie
we're not
McGuire
talking
does
about
God's
$1 million
work.
minute. Anyway, I've actually been on it. I've been in the crowd, yeah. I swear, my cousin was on it. My cousin Lachlan was on it not too long ago. And that was grouse. That was the best.
so
Anyway,
cringe.
we are not talking about that.
I am freezing.
So,
Yeah, no,
Milan
but
through.
that was big for Milan. It's good for Italian football because I think slowly, I mean, Inter Milan
Yeah.
look like they probably should go through
you can
as
see
well.
you can see in Europe, I think Spanish teams had their go, German teams had their go, English teams now are starting to you can see Italian teams. I think Napoli will probably go through. I can't remember who they're playing, but that happens. Bayern, 2-0, PSG.
And did you see what Jamie Carragher said after? And I like what Jamie
Bayern-
Carragher said. Of PSG. He goes,
No, I didn't.
I am over the moon that PSG have lost because just they're not a team. And I'm pretty much going to echo what he's saying. You can tell that the best teams, the championship winning teams, are teams. Liverpool, when they won the Premier League and the Champions League, you could tell how close they were. That's such a tight bond team. I'm not going to. I mean, obviously United's won nothing yet, but something we can see from United when 5 years ago,
it's not a
3
team.
years ago when we lost, you can feel that energy coming through.
I saw a photo on Facebook. It had even just the quality, like the Bayern bench and the PSG bench.
Yeah.
Sane, Mane, Gnabry, all these Cancelo on the bench. on the bench of PSG, there's no one. Like I'm not. I play NPL. I play Victoria. They play in Europe. It's a little bit different, but of course, there's that Messi talk. There's that Neymar talk. There's Mbappe talk. It always comes down to this. And then there was another post of every time they've got knocked out, and it's round of 16, round of 16.
That's correct. Like, it is actually stupid. And you need a squad to win these games because it's games over 2 legs. It's not who's going to be best for 90 minutes. Because in 90 minutes,
not in these knockout ties.
That's when in Mbappe, Neymar, and your Messi's be able to win you the games. But in 90 minutes, where you got to do it back to back, plus your league football, you need a squad to do this sort of stuff. And Bayern Munich have always been the dark horse of the champion. Bayern Munich could win it again this year.
Bayern Munich could.
I don't think there's ever been a year that I remember where Bayern Munich... Oh, okay, probably there has. But it's very rarely is Bayern Munich completely out of the Champions League race.
So in 2011, 2012, when they played Chelsea, that was their kind of German football started to come about and they lost. The next season, mate, the team that they had, Robben, Ribéry, Gomez up front, all those players, and then they won it. They just kept continuing. They're always there. Of course, again, it's another little bit of a farmers league, Bundesliga. Don't get me wrong. Good league, good players. Dortmund and Bayern, again, a little bit competing again this season. Union Berlin's up there, but we know what will happen. They'll fall away. They're just always up there. But I did watch the highlights before training yesterday. PSG did have chances. Like it's not that they didn't play well, but I think there's pressure. But I just don't think this money... Because again, I was listening to the podcast this morning. They've bought money. They've bought the players. Let's go. Let's buy the best. It's not working in Europe, and there's pressure. And then of course now there's the Messi thing. Blah blah blah. Is he good enough? He is good enough. He's won the trophies because he's in the team. He's been with. Again, it's been 8 years since they last won it, and then there's a photo of him, Messi, him, Neymar, Suarez, like. That's a team thing. Like, it's not just him. Of course, yes, he's doing crazy things, but that's another story and another debate we can talk about another time.
It is interesting times, and the Champions League is obviously fit and firing, and
we love Champions League. Everyone loves Champions League. I think there was, I don't know what time it was. It's like, would you in the Champions League or Premier League? It's like, would you watch Premier League or Champions League? Champions League on, you're watching. It doesn't matter what time. I remember as a kid, like I had like the little. I'm going to stick to my thoughts, though, in saying that the Champions League is slowly becoming less valuable than what it was before. It is. I just think...
Purely because I think of how these clubs, like PSG, like Man City, what they're kind of doing to it. Where this is the Super League.
It is. Again, you don't get many smaller teams going through, like...
Because the Final Four are going to be, I think, the clear Final Four again. I think
Bayern, City, probably Chelsea, probably, and Real Madrid. But that's the thing. That's the best. Like, there's not much you can. And the thing is, right? The teams that you do play in the group stage, they win they're the champions of their leagues. There's not much. You can do. Of course, there's you've had your Monacos, your Ajax, but they're still they're champions of their league. So that of course, that's the point of Champions League.
The way football is,
but quickly on to now
Ultra
Sud area, Series Futsal Victoria. Fitzroy beat Rivals. Now this is going to sound weird. They drew 4-4, but they won 1-0 on penalties. So the game was 4-4. If it's a draw in futsal, any danger, just call the game. Let them go home. It goes to penalties. But Mickey Nguyen and Scott Rogan up for MVP.
Woo!
That's good. Look, we're going to bring it up, and as much as it hurts me, 1-0, unfortunately, don't come away with any silverware in season 5.
Sure.
They lose in the semi-final. It was a very good game. It was tense, and I don't know if I spoke to you, but I spoke to a few people. That first 10 minutes, there was no sound from the crowd.
Yeah.
There was no sound from the board. You could tell everyone with tackles was still going in.
It was focused. It was a focus,
and you could see. And again, even before the boys were focused, I don't know Christos too well, but you could just see him with his buzz. He was ready to go, and even after, again, it was, I think I've been to 1-0 game. I haven't been to a final, but it was good to see that a lot of people got down, wearing 1-0 t-shirts. So there is a lot of support. So it's going to be good for the next step. Of course, I know you're on the losing side, and it's not fun. I've been there multiple times, but again, it was good to see the growth as well for the team. So,
thanks, Scott.
Unfortunately, You guys didn't get the result.
Yeah, lost 2-1, and it was. I keep on saying it. It was a boring game because like the other team are great. Like they all still play NPL and stuff, and they're a bit younger. They're a fantastic team, and but they play futsal in a boring way because they just hold the ball at the back and they just wait.
I think it's a little bit hard because I think even if they don't watch the videos, I think everyone knows who won. Like who 1-0 up kind of thing.
Yeah.
So of course there was even a little bit of back chatting, pushing, and again, and I even said to you, and I don't know who I was talking to. Even though it's just a social league, it means something. Of course, winning, playing with, and
that's why we're making a documentary.
When does that come out?
I've got to start editing it. I don't think I'm going to post on 1-0 for a month.
No.
I think I'm going to edit it for like
I reckon that should just do little clips here and there.
Yeah.
Sneak peeks.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the boss, but you.
I think so.
I'm just the co-host.
We lost 2-1, and obviously, I mean, that's 5 finals now that 1-0 was lost, which is pretty crazy. But obviously, 11 aside this year, that was our last chance to ever win it. 11 aside this year, which is looking to be really, really cool. And I think we might be able to get Friday night home games, which
Friday night under lights.
Find me another Metro team that's doing that. So that could be pretty cool.
This is our first one. NPL
This
Women's
is huge.
Community Shield, Friday night, 8 p.m, City Vista, Caroline Springs, so home of Sunshine George Cross, or Caroline Springs George Cross now, because they had to change their name from Sunshine.
It's a bit weird, yeah.
But they were in Sunshine, they changed. Anyway, that's a different story. Calder United, reigning champions, versus Bulleen, the finalist in 2022. Official match for our man, Nathan.
Is that tomorrow?
Munzio.
Is that tonight?
Tonight, correct.
Are you going?
I don't think so. I was going to. Liv wanted me to, but I was like, we'll see how we go because I can't be bothered driving there and driving back.
If you go, I'll go.
No, I'm probably not gonna lie. Nah.
Sorry, no, it's all
right. Anyway, it's first match for Nathan as co-head coach with Alan, who was at NTC. Of course,
co-head coach.
Yeah, it's like co-host, co-coach. Anyway, we have also Liv, Della Plaza Sanchez playing Bella Sewards as well. She works upstairs in the office.
Great player.
Very good player. But again, Community Shield, so hopefully the season starts next week. They've got Box Hill, but we can do a little bit of a preview for them as well. But hopefully Calder can get silverware to start the season. I know Nathan's up for it. He's very passionate. We're going to get him on the show. Very passionate coach. Moving up the ranks. He was assistant and now head coach. So good luck to Liv and Nathan and Bella as well. So hopefully we'll be going to a few Calder games this season. NPL 2, Liam Kilties and Terence Carter's Paco beat Western. So the Western boys, of course, they let Terence score 2. And I said to Cody yesterday, I said, you let him score 2.
It's crazy.
But again, I saw the second goal was a good one-on-one finish. And again, with penalty, and he was doing these celebrations. Any danger, mate? Come on, you're 30. Paco 3 wins in a row. So they're at the top of the table. Good start to the season. State Leagues, Laverton beat West Preston 2-0. So Gabs apparently tried to smash Marcelo. And now it's Laverton versus Trinity. So Alex versus Mickey and Marcelo. We won't go through all the results last week, but Moreland won 1-1 with our team, Port Melbourne. It was good away.
And George Mills, yeah.
George Mills, so they did play K come on and then he came off. It was really weird, yeah. Like he came on, played, I don't know, about 50 minutes and then come off. I can hear you guys talking. Yeah. Anyway, the probably biggest games this week, you've got Gully, Port Melbourne, Adolf tonight, George Mills, your mate.
Mills.
Down at Gully, Heidelberg, Oakley, Friday night as well. We've got Altona Magic tomorrow at home, 3 p.m.
Good luck, Clutzy.
So hopefully maybe still haven't played 20s last week, 45, so fit. So hopefully this week, there was a red card last week. Probably won't start, but fingers crossed. Still waiting for that debut. But the only fixture that, again, I'm going to talk about quickly is Dandenong Thunder, South Melbourne. There's been 2 comebacks at Dandenong. That game is going to be interesting to watch. I
like it.
That wraps it up.
Football here. It's exciting times. I'm freezing in this room.
Sorry,
you can probably tell.
I came in and it was It's boiling. Hey,
Boiling.
just in time for coffee.
Just in time for coffee. So, because of that, it's coffee time. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching. Make sure to follow Ultra Football on the socials, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever else they have. Make sure to follow that. Check out the Ultra Sud podcast. We're here every Friday, bringing it to you live. There's also the other podcasts as well. Plenty of content going out on the YouTube channels as well. And obviously, boot shopping with Ultra Football, which you can see my ugly mug on more YouTube videos if that's what you want to see. So, Kotzi, all the best for the weekend.
You
Good
too,
luck.
mate. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. It's actually the first weekend with no futsal, so I've got a weekend off.
Recovery. Coffee in the morning.
Missus is gone.
You
Oh!
just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I
didn't you?
did. Nah.
Anyway, wrap it up so we can go.
Thank
get
you
some
for
coffee.
watching. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing. I'll have a note latte. See you there.